All right, guys, let's connect it up. December 29th, 2019, the last Sunday, last live stream of 2019 coming at you. Obviously, spoiler warning for The Walking Dead show, comic spoilers, all that stuff, spin-offs, everything you can think about The Walking Dead. And we're talking about The Walking Dead Season 10 comic stuff and just a variety of topics. So I don't know if you're going to watch it on the replay or if you're going to watch it on just anything. I don't know if you're going to catch it live. If you're catching it there, spoiler warning for sure. It says it in the name. But this is the last live stream of the year, 2019. In a couple of days, it'll be 2020. We'll talk about a bunch of things going on for 2020 of The Walking Dead, this channel, Fight for Us, a bunch of things like that too. So we got a big year ahead of us. Hopefully it's a good year. You never know what you're going to get. I always say, like, new year, new you. It's going to be a great year. It's always the next year. It's like, this is going to be the best year for us. And you never know. It could be. It could be a great year. Hopefully it's a good year, not a super crazy year, one of those things. But I definitely know that 2019 was very fun. It was very crazy, very chaotic, very over the top. A lot of things good, bad, and different happened for myself, my family, my house, and here on the channel. So it's crazy to think, like Hector says, end of a month, end of a year, end of a decade. It's crazy that we're going into 2020. And I know that a lot of people are thinking about the end of The Walking Dead. A lot of people are thinking, how's it going to end? When is it going to end? Why is it going to end? Well, I doubt it's going to be anything to do with the people don't want to make money anymore, because The Walking Dead could go on for several years and it could make tons of money. It's the cash cow, probably the biggest show on AMC. It's been for a while now, I would assume. And it's one of the biggest shows. I think it's got to be one of the biggest shows of, the 10 years, the past 10 years. It's definitely one of the biggest shows. Some say it's the biggest show ever. Some say it's, the crazy thing for that. But I'm excited to see where the future goes with The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead World Beyond, the movies, and anything else they want to do. It's just great that 2020 is going to have so much material for the universe next year. We're going to have 8 episodes of The Walking Dead Season 10B, 8 episodes of Season 11A. So that's 16 episodes of The Walking Dead. Plus, we're going to get all of Season 6 of Fear, which is 16 episodes. That's 32 episodes. Plus 10 episodes of The Walking Dead World Beyond. So that is, by my count, 16 and 16 is 32. Plus 10 is 42. We only have 52 weeks in a year, so 42 of the 52 is going to be Walking Dead related, and that's pretty amazing. And there's been different things that come out about the, views, how many people are actually watching the show, how many millions of people, the ratings. The ratings are definitely lower because of AMC Premiere, and probably just people aren't watching it as much. When was The Walking Dead's best series, the best heyday, the best, part of the universe? Probably seasons 4, 5, and 6. I doubt it's ever going to get better than that. There's a lot of things going around of the best episodes of The Walking Dead, and I think the worst episodes as well. I haven't seen that list yet of the worst episodes of The Walking Dead series, but I think there was an article by comicbook.com or something that had season 7 and season 8 are majority of those episodes. So that's crazy. So to me, they are the worst seasons. Maybe some people like them, some people didn't. And some people like the show. They love the show unconditionally. They love season 7. They love season 8. They love season 9. They love season 2. They love all the different things. It doesn't matter. Every episode's great. Every season's great. Every character is great. Then there's the other side of it. People hate it. People hate every episode. That doesn't make sense. That's dumb. That's this. That's here. So thank you, Nick, for the super chat. I appreciate it. If there's anything you want to say, there's just no question to it. But thank you for the super chat. And thank you guys for being a member or being a subscriber or doing a super chat or doing anything you can to support the channel, even if it's just subscribing. Telling your friends, tell your family, telling your coworkers, anybody that you think would love the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. We have a goal of 100,000 subscribers that we're really trying to hit next year. As my count is, I think YouTube is kind of weeding down accounts and really cleaning up inactive accounts. So different things of the channel have gone up and gone down with the numbers of subscribers, but hopefully we need about just under 13,000 more for 100,000 subscribers, and I think that's an achievable goal, and it's a realistic expectations. I like to set goals. I like to set things out for the channel, for the book series, for life, for my house, for my career, for whatever it is. Goals are good to strive for. Now, you don't want to set the goals too low, and then you achieve them, and then what do? And you don't want to set them too high because then they're unattainable. But yeah, I think there are some goals that you should set for yourself that make sense. That should also be, something there. You have short-term goals, long-term goals, all that things for sure. So, and thank you, Travis, says we can do it. And I hope we can, but we just need more people to do it. We'll probably be doing more stuff on Instagram. We'll be posting more fact stuff, more photos, more spoilers, more pictures on there too, as well as YouTube and Facebook and all the different social media. So it's all at the PT channel on Instagram as well too. So I think it's pretty fun to just talk about it in every way, shape, or form. Not everybody has an Instagram. Not everybody has a Facebook. Not everybody has a Twitter. That's why we're on all three, plus YouTube, and we try to share it with you guys and to talk and to be a big part of it. It's just pretty cool. So The Walking Dead is on break for 2 more months. It'll be back February 23rd is the Sunday. I'm guessing it's going to be back on Fridays for AMC Premier members, which is great. That's pretty cool to have that ability. I don't know if it's helping or hurting, the series, the universe, the ratings. It's definitely not helping the ratings because if you can watch it early, it's there. But you're paying $5 a month to get early access of the episodes, which is going straight to AMC, which is good. Pretty cool to see if that's going to happen or not. So Nick writes, why are there no Jerry-sized walkers? The only big walker was in the water well in season 2. That is a great question, Nick. Well, I think it just comes down to K&B effects, to the artists, how they make it, how they put stuff over them, how they have it, and if they're skinnier, the better. It's also hot in Georgia, so if you have a person that's very skinny and then it's loaded up with all this prosthetics and different things for that, the person could pass out. The person could have heat exhaustion, heat stroke, different things, because when they film in late April, early May, all the way to November, it's pretty hot in Georgia. It can get up to high 90s, low 100s, and humidity, it just could be terrible. I know in Florida it's terrible, and Georgia can't be that much different for it. So it's going to be one of those things where I think that's probably why. If zombies were real, which they're not, if walkers were real, which they're not, there would be a lot of overweight walkers, I would assume, because there's a lot of overweight people in the United States and the world. We are getting fatter, we are getting more obese, and then we're also getting, more, it's like the two ends of the spectrum, overweight or super fit, and everything in between. So I don't know. I just think it comes down to how they make them. The same thing. Why do all the walkers have long sleeve shirts? Why do they have perfect teeth or really good teeth? They should be missing teeth. There's like people that have jacked up teeth, and they'd probably be, walkers and zombies more than anybody. But, if I was making a show, it would be a little different. The walkers wouldn't be so, they all wouldn't have long sleeve shirts and long pants on. They would just have basic clothing on there. Maybe it comes down to wardrobe. Maybe it comes down to how it is for how they film, because you can't just wear shirts that have all these different graphics on it and all these different things on it, because probably copyright, different filming, different just production stuff that I don't even know, that most people aren't really, aware of. So I don't know. But Rob wants a bodybuilder walker. That's kind of a thing that I think you would see it on Zombieland, like the clown. That was kind of funny too. I think that's where you would probably see more of that stuff. I think the Nicotero walkers are kind of what we've been getting. But you bring up a good point. I think Norman Reedus brought up the funny joke on the Walker Stalker Cruise the one time that he always wanted to have like waitresses from Hooters be walkers, where they dressed up in the outfits like that too when they're walkers. You would see those type of people. There wouldn't be all the skinny, decaying walkers at every point there as well. But, it's a show that I think they do a really good job with the different walkers and the different things growing out of their faces and the different stuff there too. I think they do a great job, but, I just think it comes down to the production is why we see the walkers how they are. And it's crazy to think that a person sits in a chair for an hour, 2 hours getting makeup done, and they're on the show for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, if that. It's just crazy. I just think that it's great that they have those, abilities to do that, and they put that time and energy in it. I don't know. Either way, we'll have to see down the road what's going to happen. My question to you is, I think that how can we have so many walkers left in the zombie apocalypse after so many years, right? So the zombie apocalypse, the ratio is like 1 million walkers to one person alive or something ridiculous, right? Or 100,000. Like it was to one person alive. So if there was 10 people, there was like so many walkers left. So, but wouldn't they start to break down after 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 9 years, 10 years, whatever it is? That's a long time. That's a long time in the zombie apocalypse. And if they don't have a food source or over enough time, it's definitely a thing that I'm like, man, I just think that is a good question to raise. It's a good thing to have debates, discussions, and people will say it's nitpicking. And I am ride or die with the show. If people don't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. I love The Walking Dead. I will watch it to the last episode, the last movie, the last spinoff, whatever it's going to be. I will have it. I would say I'm going to read the comics to its end, but it's over. The Walking Dead comics are over. And it's interesting that Robert Kirkman brought up the idea that he was worried about the paranoia, or he's like worried about the fans really not liking that The Walking Dead ended in July. Backlash. He was afraid of the backlash that Robert Kirkman was going to get from the fans. And it's kind of scary when you write something or do something on there too. Like, some of you may know, and hopefully you guys know, that I'm an author for Fight For Us, the zombie apocalypse book series. And it's one of those things where like, you do have some anxiety and apprehension that people aren't going to, understand what you're trying to write or buy what you're writing, or really agree with how the viewpoint is with some of the characters and how it is for that. But at the end of the day, you got to trust your gut. You got to do what you want to do, and you have to be the right kind of person for your art, drawing, writing, painting, whatever it is. And it has to be your way, as long as it's, to me, not really, ruffling any feathers or whatever you want to call it, or saying any problems with that or causing any problems with it to a certain degree. Not everyone's going to like everything that you do. Not everything's going to be, all support. There's a lot of people that hate everything that you do. There's a lot of people that hate everything that I do outside of The Walking Dead. If I make a video that doesn't talk about The Walking Dead, people hate it. People dislike it right away, or they don't watch it, or they don't care about it at all. And that's their prerogative. They can do. There's also people that, dislike every video that I put up, probably without even viewing it. So I don't know what their problem is and what it is, but it's just one of those things that it doesn't make sense to me why you would waste your time and hate on a channel or subscribe to a channel and watch the videos just to dislike them. But people do that all the time. So Gary Page Q&A, hey Bri, will you be watching A Quiet Place 2? Definitely. That is one of my movies that I have for 2020. I made a list of the movies that I want to make, that I want to watch next year in 2020, and A Quiet Place 2 is definitely one of them. Off the top of my head, I want to watch Wonder Woman 84, A Quiet Place 2, Ghostbusters, The Eternals, Bad Boys for Life, and then there's two more. The Sopranos movie, and what's the other one? I'm blanking on it, but I know that I want to check out a bunch of movies next year, and there's not as many movies that this year that I wanted to see, but I definitely enjoyed it on there too. Mellow Writer 703, Bri, are you going to review The Mandalorian? I did it on my other channel briefly. I had a couple of videos about it, or at least one video on it, but I definitely saw all 8 episodes of The Mandalorian. I'll talk about it. I definitely reviewed, episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, on here, but I definitely talk about it over the break. I have a couple of videos. I made a video yesterday that I will post tomorrow about season 10 of The Walking Dead, and then I'll probably have a different top 10 for Tuesday, which is New Year's Eve. And then I'll have a bunch of videos for, the break still. Because we got all of January, which is crazy. And then we got, if you watch AMC Premiere, 20 days of February. So that's a long time. We got 50 some days left. I think it's like 56 days or something left until The Walking Dead returns. And that's a lot of stuff to talk about and to make videos, but we made videos every day so far. I'm proud of myself that I was able to get out different videos so far since The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead hasn't been on since November. We're coming up on December 29th. Right now is today. So it's crazy, right? So hopefully we're here to make the break a little less crappy for you, because I don't know about you, but I think we're a little spoiled nowadays with shows having such a good time on television. Netflix posting all the episodes right away. We got Disney Plus, you got HBO Go, you got Hulu, you got all these great streaming services, and you have everything at your fingertips now. Especially if you never saw Breaking Bad or Sopranos or whatever the series that you watch, Dexter and stuff like that. You can go on the streaming services like Netflix, and watch so many episodes. You can watch an episode every day. Remember when you had to watch it every week? Like The Walking Dead, or different episodes where you got to wait every week to watch it. It's like, man, that's crazy that you got to wait. And now we got 2 months, but The Walking Dead will be back in February. It'll be before you know it. And the summer breaks are the worst. If you know, the summer breaks are so long. But now that we're going to have The World Beyond, we're going to have that probably right after The Walking Dead, I would assume. And then we'll probably have Fear the Walking Dead over the summer. And so, or vice versa, however they want to do it. But so that's kind of cool that we're still going to have Walking Dead universe shows, but just not The Walking Dead. And I definitely like The Walking Dead universe, but Fear the Walking Dead is just lacking and slacking in a lot of components and areas, in my opinion. It could be better. It should be better in a couple of things. It's definitely one of those things that I'm not sure why, and I'm not sure what's going on with it. But we'll see. Hopefully season 6 of Fear is great, and we'll see what happens with a bunch of other, the Fear Walking Dead season 6, if it's the last one, if there's another season of it, if The Walking Dead World Beyond gets a couple seasons, and then hopefully we'll get some information about the Walking Dead movies. We still don't know much. The last time I heard any information about it was a pre-production meeting that Andrew Lincoln and Pollyanna McIntosh, that's Rick and Jadis on The Walking Dead, in The Walking Dead, they were in Los Angeles, California, to do a pre-production meeting. So we'll have to see where it goes. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. I know I'm excited for it either way. So no Walking Dead. So what have you guys been watching? I watched The Mandalorian, which was really good. That was 8 episodes. We watched 6 of the 8 episodes of The Witcher. So we have episodes 7 and 8. And I never played those video games, so I don't know what's going on, but I know Henry Cavill is doing a great job as that main character. And I don't know too much about the story besides what I'm watching and what I'm seeing on the show. So I don't know if it's as good as the video games, if it's better, if it's different, or it is. But ultimately, I think it's great for filling the void of television shows. So pretty cool stuff. Fiona says, hope you had a great Christmas, Brian. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you guys too. I hope you guys had a great holiday, whether it's Christmas or whatever holiday that you celebrate. It's definitely a thing. I think it's a pretty cool thing that you can have a good holiday if you're traveling. Hopefully you didn't travel too far and the traveling wasn't too crazy. I know that it's one of those things where I didn't go anywhere, so it's been a great break. It's been a great time off for me, so I'm like, man, it's pretty cool. But Protected Line, I'm sure The World Beyond is marketed to me as a 40-year-old. Brian, what do you think? I don't know. I should say I'm not sure. The Walking Dead World Beyond. Exactly. That's a great question. Is The Walking Dead World Beyond marketed to, I don't know what the demographic is, 25 to 35 or 35 to 42 or whatever the actual age groups are for that. I'm not involved with that, so I don't know. But ultimately, I know that it seems a little more like a kid show, but not like a kiddie show. It's not like Blue's Clues or something on Nickelodeon, which is nothing wrong with that. But, this is The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is the kind of thing that it's like, what? But I don't know if it's basically going to be like a Hunger Games type feel, which I kind of hope it is, because the Hunger Games initially was like, whoa, what am I watching here? But it was pretty cool, kind of like a revolution type thing where there's a problem with the people running things and the people are going to rise up and they're going to have that. And, it's more like The Walking Dead World Beyond to me is kids growing up in the zombie apocalypse who don't know really what the world was before all this. And they are teenagers or preteens or around that area, around that age group, that they can be talking about, I want more. Like Carl. Carl never wanted to stay in the house. He always wanted to be out. He got into somewhat trouble. He wasn't like a mischievous person or kid or anything like that, but ultimately he kind of didn't listen. Kids, teenagers, you can't tell them anything. You know, I'm in my mid-30s now, so I know what it's like to be 16, 17, 20 years old. You don't want to listen to your parents. You don't want to listen to people of authority sometimes. You just want to act out. And that's not going to change because of a zombie apocalypse. It's called adolescence, and it's called people growing up, no matter where they are, in Nebraska, where the show is supposedly taking place, New York, California, wherever, right? Any other country. I'm sure it's a part of growing up and what people do. I hope it's just not annoying. I really hope the zombie apocalypse, meet Stand By Me kind of thing is done in a way that's interesting, entertaining. If you can feel for these characters, if you can like these characters, that's it, right? Whether you like this character or that character, or you like the main character, or you like, the different people, Hope and the different people are on it. I don't know. It's definitely a show that I hope is interesting and entertaining, and I just hope it connects the dots with CRM, and I hope that's what they're going for. I don't know if it's going to make sense because Fear the Walking Dead was all over the place. It still is. The Walking Dead World Beyond hopefully learned what not to do from that, the spin-off show, because Fear the Walking Dead was the first spin-off. I hope that it's like the third. It's like The Walking Dead is like the original trilogy of Star Wars. It's awesome, it's great, it's entertaining like that. And then we had these little spin-offs. We had the prequels, they really weren't the best in my opinion. And then we got the episodes 7, 8, and 9, which kind of could be hopefully some part of it. So hopefully they learn what to do, what not to do. I don't know if it's a reboot or connecting point or not, so we'll have to see. But ultimately, The Walking Dead Season 10, 10B, the last 8 episodes of The Walking Dead Season 10, start back February 23rd, and then they'll go for 8 weeks, and then they'll be gone again. So I'm excited to see what happens with it. I hope the Whisperer of War is there. It makes sense because the Whisperer of War was 6 issues in the comic. You can have 6 issues be in 8 episodes. Now, there's going to be twists and turns and remixes all the time. There always is, because the stuff with Maggie and Negan happened way after the Whisperer of War, but it happened before the Whisperer of War on the show. So there's little things. Are we going to lose some people? For sure. Are we going to gain some people? Most likely. If you know the comics, you know that we're going to most likely meet some new characters from this timeline in the story. We're probably going to meet Stephanie. We're probably going to meet Juanita Sanchez. Don't know if we're going to meet some of the New World Order Commonwealth guards. Are we going to meet Mercer? Or is that going to be some of those moved to Season 11? Season 11 is happening. So whatever you hear, whatever is told, whatever is said, we are getting Season 11 of The Walking Dead. I would assume we'll get Season 12 as well, and that could be the last season of The Walking Dead. I don't know if it is. It's just my guess, my theory, my idea, based on the material from the comics. And everybody loves to say, from the executives of AMC and The Walking Dead, is what people like to say, is that we can continue on after the material from the comics is used on the show. And they can. They can write what they want to do. They can do what they want to do. But can it be successful? Will it make sense? They said the same thing about the Walking Dead comic. Now, comic spoilers for sure, major comic spoilers. The last issue of the Walking Dead comic is issue 193. In issue 192, the one right before it, Rick gets shot in the chest. That's the way the comic ends, I believe. I'm off the top of my head. I believe that's the way it is. It's like a cliffhanger issue. They're like, oh yeah, even Charlie Adlard and a bunch of people were saying that the Walking Dead comic can continue on for years if Rick dies. Well, it only lasted one more issue because Rick was found as a zombie, a walker in the beginning, right around the beginning of that comic issue 193, and that was it. So it lasted one more issue. Now that Rick is gone from the show, That's gone. That's off the table. People want to bring up the question, will Rick's death happen to Carl, to Daryl, to Aaron, to Ezekiel, to somebody, right? It's just like, whoa, let's back it down a little bit. I don't see... Somebody asked me a question, Jesse, on Instagram or on Facebook today. What if Ezekiel and Carol go to the Commonwealth? And if you know the comics, you know what happens with Dwight and Rick and Pamela Milton, and there's kind of an uprising with it. But Dwight's not there. And Daryl is definitely not Dwight. And Ezekiel and Carol are not Dwight and Rick. So I don't see that happening, right? I don't see any of that happening with it because it just doesn't make sense. What I could see happening is that Ezekiel goes to the Commonwealth and survives, gets treatment. He has cancer or doesn't have cancer. He has, better, medical treatment for his neck, and he gets better. That would be pretty cool. Because if we're losing Rick on the show, which we already have, if we're losing Michonne on the show, which we're about to happen in the back half of season 10, if we're going to lose other characters this season, which we have, we already lost Sadiq, we lost Carl a couple seasons ago, and the show is definitely different because it's definitely on there as well. So, Wilson, yeah, I saw the title. That's actually of the episode 10-9. I have that in a video that I'll have tomorrow. That's in there too. So that's some of the information that I have that I'll share with you. But you are correct. Squeeze is the episode title for season 10, episode 9. Is the early word. We have to say potential spoilers and all that stuff, but that's the word that I'm getting for sure. So we'll have to see with it. But we have to be thankful, guys, that The Walking Dead is coming up on the 11th season. That's crazy to think that we might not have ever had this show, The Walking Dead, right? Initially, Robert Kirkman and his people and his executives, whoever, they took the show to HBO. And HBO declined. Then they took it to NBC, and NBC declined. And then I believe they just took it to AMC, and AMC accepted. I think it was the third one. We only know for what they've said is that they have the Walking Dead was sent to HBO and NBC, and they didn't do it, but then it got picked up by AMC, obviously, because it's still on there. So that's crazy to think that we might have never gotten the show, for sure. James, my man James, Q&A, do you think they will ever revisit the Kingdom? I don't know. I would think so, but the Kingdom is on Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta. Tyler Perry, the guy who makes the Medea movies, owns that. It's his studio. So they could always go back there. It's just not on their own. They don't own that at Raleigh Studios or whatever it's called now, Riverwood Studios or whatever. But they don't have that anymore. So it's harder for them to get there. That's probably why they destroyed it, so they don't have to film there anymore. But I don't know. Maybe at some point they have like a brief little clip where, Ezekiel goes back there and checks out, or Jerry or somebody, because I really hope Jerry, survives. And I hope that they go there and have a nice little moment with the Kingdom. And maybe they rebuild for the future. Maybe that's how it ends, with them rebuilding the Kingdom, rebuilding Hilltop, building Alexandria again, and kind of stepping it up, and for the future, because that would be pretty cool as well. Hectorito Q&A, where did you put your Michonne? Send it to the man cave. That's right, Michonne. Michonne's. Hector, I was going to bring it for the live stream, but it's in the man cave across the house. Hector got me a Color Tops Michonne, Michonne Funko Pop, and an Alpha Funko Pop. And the last issue, the comic, 193, which is awesome, which I'm going to leave in the package like that because, keep it pristine. Pretty cool stuff. And my man Hector, so thank you for the presents. You didn't have to do that at all. And he got me a couple other things from, I guess, when you went to New York Comic Con, my man, and I appreciate it for sure. It was definitely awesome. But yeah, they're in the man cave right now. My man cave is a mess right now, I'm not going to lie. It's a crazy mess. I have to get organized. 2020 is the year of organization for myself. So I got to organize the man cave. I'll take some video of it, show you guys what it is. And I got to straighten up the garage. That's for sure. I definitely have to get there for that. My man, what we got here? Some more questions. But thank you guys for joining me this Sunday, and really every Sunday. It means a lot to me that you take the time to be here, because you don't have to be. You could be, it's definitely cool thing, and I definitely enjoy doing it. You know, it's been a crazy year for a bunch of different reasons around here on YouTube. But if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it anymore. And right now, I'm still doing it. I got some moderators now. A big shout out to Jen and Rob K that I see are in here. And I have a couple of different moderators as well. But I know Jen and Rob K are doing a great job right here that I see. And my members are Hector, Rob, Jen, Protected Lion, James, and a couple other people as well. So it's pretty cool, and I appreciate it. You know, the money always comes back to the channel so I can continue on making more awesome YouTube videos. And, you know, next year is a year that I want to continue on. I definitely want to make some awesome videos, what we're doing here, get some more stuff in the production with Fight For Us. I'm writing right now. I'm editing the Fight For Us Book 11, which is titled Access. I'm going through it. I'm actually putting the titles of the chapters in now. I wrote the book. It's 18 chapters, and I'm going through it and doing that while editing it. So I'm going to do all that, edit it, and then I have my wife read it, and then I'll edit it again, and then I'll have it available to you guys. So hopefully you guys are checking it out, and it means a lot to me. It definitely does. It's a story that means a lot to me because of my story of myself, my wife, my father, my friends, my area, my Tampa Bay kind of, you know, just involvement here, and it means a lot to me. So hopefully you guys check it out. It's one of those things where I definitely think it's worth reading if you haven't already. It's a zombie apocalypse story, and it's pretty cool too. So yeah, Rob K, what if Game of Thrones ended up on AMC? I don't think Game of Thrones would have been nearly as good if it was on AMC, and I think that The Walking Dead would have been, you know, it's still a great show. It would have been, you know, turned up to 11 on HBO because you can get away with so much more. We probably would have had 10 to 13 episode seasons instead of 16, which kind of would have limited the bottle episodes. They would have been probably a full hour instead of the 40 some minutes. You wouldn't have had to worry about revenue, wouldn't have had to worry about the ad revenue and the advertisement stuff that come in there because there are no ads on HBO stuff. I think it just would have been, you know, better all around, but it is what it is. I'm thankful for that too. I'm definitely very thankful for AMC to have this awesome show of The Walking Dead. I love talking about it. I love talking to you guys about it. You know, the different communities and the different people that we have here, not just on our channel, but the Walking Dead communities on YouTube too. There's a lot of channels out there. Some are great, some are not so great, some are just things out there. You know, I don't want to say anything bad about another channel because that's just not worth it. You know, I want to have support, and I really wish everybody that loved The Walking Dead subscribe to all the channels. You can subscribe to every channel. All you do is you click subscribe and you support the channel. Maybe you want to, maybe you don't, but overall, it's just there's this underlying tone where I like this channel, so I can't like that channel. And if you don't like a channel because you don't like the channel, that's fine. Or you can do whatever you want. Whatever you do is fine as well. But if you like my channel or you like the other channel and you're coming in here and you're being a troll and you're being this and they're causing problems because you came here from another channel and your goal is to take people down, that's terrible. But people do that, that's for sure. But I don't know if the people running other channels, you know, egg that on and promote that. But there's a lot of childish people on YouTube, online for sure. But either way, I got moderators now that are doing an amazing job, and I got people that do a great job for it. And most of the time, people are an awesome thing that have the wherewithal to be here. We're blocking people left and right. People aren't being attacked. And I don't want anybody to feel like they can't say they can, you know, type a comment and do it on there and have people yell at them and scream at them unless the person's comment is, you know, disrespectful and they kind of are bringing it on themselves, because it happens too. But, you know, that's always said. But ultimately, The Walking Dead, we're here to talk about. And so The Walking Dead Season 10, I'm excited to see a lot of things. But definitely how The Walking Dead gets rid of Michonne, one way or another. And I highly, highly doubt that they kill her off, because if she dies, she's gone. There's no coming back from that. There's no chance of her to ever see Judith again, RJ, Rick, be reunited somewhere on there. If she's alive and it's open, we can see that too. So we're going to have another video over the break where we have some information about that. There's more and more information coming out about Michonne, that her last episode is season 10, episode 12. So we might be getting one more episode of Michonne on the show, and that's it. Or we could be getting two. I think at most two, most likely one episode of Michonne's content. But, you know, I would love it to be 2 episodes because I love Michonne. She's my favorite character, and I hope Denai Guerrera is seen again. I've had a chance to meet Denai Guerrera a couple of times, and she's amazing. She's one of those things where if you ever get a chance to meet your favorite actors and your favorite people, hopefully you don't get disappointed. I have never got disappointed with any people I've met, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that there's actors and actresses out there that are disappointing to meet, and you know they could be for sure. So I'm hoping that you ever get to meet any of these people at conventions and they're a good person and a good time and a good, experience for that. Everybody I've met has been great. And some of the people like the governor, David Morrissey, or like a couple other actors that were like not the nicest people or not the best people on the show are some of the greatest, sweetest people you meet in real life. And it's really true. They say that a lot, and it's really true. So Donnie B Train Q&A, Brian, do you think Morgan will come back to The Walking Dead? I do not. I don't think The Walking Dead will see Morgan or Dwight ever again. I think if we see Morgan reunited with Rick or some other way, I think it goes to that. I think they go to the movies. I hopefully see Morgan be reunited with Rick in the movies, or if they come back to The Walking Dead, it's the very, very, very end of the series. I still think that the best bet for Morgan and Fear the Walking Dead is to get absorbed into The Walking Dead World Beyond. I think that's what makes sense. Because if Texas is where Morgan and our group is at, and The Walking Dead World Beyond is in Nebraska, that's like so close to each other. And Morgan went from Virginia in the story all the way to Texas and found Alicia, Nick, Strand, all these people from Fear the Walking Dead. You're telling me that Morgan and whoever survives on Fear the Walking Dead couldn't find the kids and the people on The Walking Dead World Beyond that is in Nebraska? That's pretty close there, right? So we'll have to see what happens with that. I just hope it all makes sense, and I just hope it comes there. But I don't see anybody from The Walking Dead going to Fear and anybody from Fear going to The Walking Dead. I would just think they're going to go between the spinoffs, if not the movies. It just makes more sense to me too. So KFC manager, great name. I'm going to answer that in a video coming up about that. So your question is good, but it'll be in a video this week, maybe next week, but very soon. I'm probably going to make it probably tomorrow and then post it later this week. Because, a lot of people don't understand that I make a lot of videos on like Monday or Tuesday, and then I post videos every day. And it's just crazy that people think that, oh, you took this or you took that or you took this. I don't watch other people's channels. I don't go to other people's channels. I don't go there too. People come here and they say different things, and maybe I think it's a good topic for discussion, but I don't go to other people's stuff because I don't want to be biased or get into their information. If I do, I give them a shout out. I give it into the photo credit, info credit stuff because that's what I feel is necessary. Now, there's people on Instagram that don't do that at all. So, there's a whole bunch of craziness on there as well, but if you'll give us a follow on Instagram, and I will be posting some more stuff on there. Not just Walking Dead related. There's Walking Dead stuff, Marvel stuff, my cat stuff, my life stuff, just motivational stuff on there too, inspirational, fun stuff. So give us a follow at the PT channel on Instagram too. So Boyd, my man Boyd, do you think Negan will figure it out that Gamma is a spy? They definitely want you to think that from the trailer. Negan is a smart guy. So I think so. I think Negan will find out a lot of information, what to do, how to stay alive, what's the best bet to keep Negan alive, is most likely probably take out, Alpha. But I think Negan will figure it out because Negan is a very resourceful, smart guy. And I would assume that a lot of the Whispers are, I hate to use this term, but sheep being led by a cult leader like Alpha. So they just are impressionable. They'll kind of do what the thing is. I don't know how else to say it that way. So I know that I think Negan is an outsider who's not just going to buy right into the Whisperer way. So I think we'll figure it out too. And I got a Negan video coming up as well. So I have a bunch of videos coming up either later this week into next week. And we'll continue to be doing live streams probably all the way up to The Walking Dead returning in February. I don't see... I'll have to check the schedule, but I think we'll be posting live streams and be able to do it too, for sure too. So... Travis Stevens says, can we say something bad about other channels? I mean, you can say whatever you want if you want, Travis, but you can do. I just don't recommend going to other channels and just, saying stuff from another channel and causing a little thing. If you want, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but, there's other channels that do great things, I'm sure, and some probably aren't so good. I mean, I know there's channels back in the day, especially when the season 6 finale was done into season 7's premiere, that whole summer was like craziness with people and theories and just discussions and information. And that's really what started me with the summer of speculation, or the series of speculation, because it's not just the summer, it's all year round. And I've seen so many things. Like, people message me all the time on Instagram and Facebook and everything. And they're like, do you think that Daryl is going to die? Do you think that this is going to happen? Do you think that's going to happen? And maybe it is, but I see certain characters like Daryl and Carol living for a long, long time. Same thing with Maggie. Same thing with Judith. Everybody else between that could go, stay, and be indifferent. But I think that Jerry should stay alive. I think the trailer stuff with Jerry is making you want to watch, is making you want to come there and see. Because who doesn't love Jerry? We all love Jerry, right? Jerry. But I think that Jerry is a character that is universally loved. So they put him in a precarious situation and a dangerous situation. So if like, Jerry's in danger, I have to watch to see what happens, that's what they want you to do. Mr. Midnight Q&A, do you think Morgan will show up in the Rick movies? There was just something about Morgan and Jade's final exchange. Has me thinking. I think so. That's what I think is the best thing, that Morgan shows up there. Eric Finnegan Q&A, would it be better if they pulled fake Alpha's mask off Scooby-Doo style? It'll be a little cheesy, but I don't know. It'd be kind of crazy for it. But we'll see. We'll see what they want to do, because I'm interested to see how it all goes down, because I'm definitely interested to see what happens with Alpha, Lydia, the Whisperer War, Beta, Negan, Hilltop, Maggie, Georgie if she comes back around, Stephanie. There's so many things that are captivating for me and interesting for me. I'm excited too, because I'm excited for them to answer stuff. And The Walking Dead does a pretty good job with answering a lot of things. They do sometimes set up something and they don't really answer it, or at least they plant the seed and then it blossoms into something down the road. And I'm okay with that. You don't have to have everything answered on there as well, too. So it's definitely one of the as well. So Cobra Kai, I love your content. I rarely comment, but I think it's a coincidence that you had no trolls since Sandra left. Long may it continue. Appreciate it. See, I see a correlation with that too. Janet Person, Q&A, my lady Janet. We've talked about the possibility that Connie could die in the cave, but it seems to me that if she does, it is a bit repetitive to the Daryl Beth arc. Thoughts? I don't know what's going to happen with that. I could personally see that somebody dies in the cave or everybody makes it out. I could see that someone has a close call, but everybody survives. I think the top 3 people that die in the cave are Connie or Kelly or Magna. I don't see it being Aaron, Daryl, or Carol. And of course there's Jerry, but I don't know. I just don't see it being anything there. We think that somebody needs to die there, but I think when the writers want to mix it up, they make us think that we know what's going to happen, and then they're like, boom, you didn't see that coming. Nope, no way. We're going to have the Negan lineup, but 2 people are going to die, not 1. We're going to have, Denise, who we start to like, and then boom, she gets taken out. Or, stuff is thrown in a way that is made to surprise us. So I don't know what's going to exactly happen with that, but I know that I think Connie has a good chance that she dies this season, just because of the connecting point with Daryl. I don't know if they're going to have a relationship or a romance or whatever, because if they do, most likely Connie's going to die, because I don't see Daryl ever dying. I think he's going to be the last man standing, but it is the kiss of death literally on the show, when you get into a relationship or you have feelings with somebody or feelings for somebody here, it just doesn't usually go well. Ask Rosita, ask Maggie, ask, Rick, except for Michonne. Rick's lost a lot of people that he's cared about. Maggie's lost a lot of people that she's cared about. Same thing with Carol. The people there, it's just crazy to think that if you go into a relationship and you start to feel for these people, that's the kiss of death on this show, literally. So that's definitely a good theory for it. I'm not sure if it's going to be, coming around again. But I know that The Walking Dead does certain things. They're going to have some definitely callbacks to the comic. I hope that there is a big callback to the comic where Negan fights Beta. And a lot of people, want to see Beta get taken out. But who could take out Beta? I mean, the best fighter on The Walking Dead is Jesus, or was Jesus, and he's killed off. Negan's a pretty good fighter. I mean, we saw him take down Simon in season 8, so we know that there's a possibility that Negan could take out Beta. But I just feel like Negan's going to need help if that happens, and there's going to be 2 people, if not 3 people, to take out Beta. That would be pretty awesome, and I hope it's a good fight scene. The fight scene with Daryl and Beta was okay in my book, but it's one of those things where I thought that it could have been a little bit better, and it was kind of setting up probably the initial fight scene with Beta and the introduction of Beta and Daryl, and because Beta and Daryl are kind of similar too. They're number 2s. They're on the quieter side. They act. They don't talk a big game. They don't do all that stuff. They're more people of action than talk, and I personally would like to see Beta be the Sons of Anarchy character by Ryan Hurst. That would be pretty awesome, especially if he was a mechanic. But, it looks like he's going to be a country singer for some reason is what they're going to do. That he was going to be a famous country singer is what the word is that is going around that we still have not seen. But again, that should be shown in the back half of season 10. And I know a lot of people say that we need to find out information, every little thing. And some people are like, we don't need to know every little thing. So whatever you decide on there too, I just think it needs to be information that's relevant to the show. Because there's a lot of stuff that pops up that I'm like, whoa, what about that? Like the biggest thing to me is the connecting point with Jadis and the helicopter people with Father Gabriel and Negan. And Jadis is gone and the helicopter people are gone, for right now at least. And then Negan and Father Gabriel have been there for a long time. And wouldn't you think that people would ask questions about Jadis? Like, where's Jadis? Or where's Heath? Or where's these characters? Like, you've never seen people from Alexandria ever ask about certain characters. Like, there's not a lot of Alexandrians left, but Alexandrians are there because Alexandria is there. So Aaron wasn't friends with any of those people, or Barbara, or whoever survived. Like, there's not many left, but I don't know what's going to happen with all these characters, but I would assume that the Whisperer War is going to happen probably somewhere after, Michonne leaves. I just don't know how Michonne's going to leave and not be involved with the war, not be involved with Judith. If she brings the guns back to Oceanside, why does she leave? Is she forced to leave? Is she taken herself? Is she kidnapped herself? Is she taken by CRM and she's an A and Rick's with the B group? So, what's up, Tommy? Keep writing what up. What's up at the PT channel? So, what's up, Tommy Griffin Jr.? But that would be kind of interesting too. If Michonne goes to the A camp and Rick is at the B camp, that would be pretty cool. If they go to the same area and then everyone's going to ask, how's Michonne going to find Rick? Is Michonne going to find Rick? What's going to happen here? How's this going to happen? When are we going to know? What's going to find out? How are we going to find out? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Just let it play out a little bit. I don't think, if Michonne survives, which I hope she does, I don't think we see Rick and Michonne finding each other until the second movie at the earliest. Because if the first movie is taking place before the 6-year time jump, Michonne hasn't even left yet. Michonne is still back in Alexandria and looking for Rick during the first movie. So there's got to be time jumps in the movie sequence. There's got to be that to come up with the timeline. There's got to be a time jump in Fear the Walking Dead. There's got to be time jumps all over the place too, if it's going to make sense. And overall, I would say that The Walking Dead and the writers and the showrunners and everybody have done a really good job with the continuity of things, with the continuation of story arcs, with time jumps, with things. And I mean, yeah, the 6-year time jump was to have older Judith, basically. That's probably what it was all about, is that Judith was going to be older. She wasn't going to be 4 or 5. She's going to be 10 or 11. So it was going to be that she could be older, and Kaylee Presley Fleming is awesome, in my opinion. I think she's a great actress. I think she brings a lot to the show, and to me, she's the future of the show. Definitely caught the fact that she's writing a journal, probably writing everything down so that she can tell her kids or whoever survives, to be the person at the very end of the series. It just makes more sense that way too. So Judith is Carl from the comic. I don't think Judith loses an eye. I don't think anything happens like that, because that happened to Carl. Rick didn't lose a hand, but Aaron did. So they have remixes, there that are different for the show, for the comics. And it's always one of those things that I like, that what they do pretty much all the time. I liked the characters that are just for the show. Most of them, right? I liked Simon. I liked Jerry. I liked Daryl. I like Merle. I like a lot of those characters that have had, either they weren't in the comic or they were different on the show. Carol, much better on the show. And what you should do too, is go on Instagram, follow me at the PT channel, and comment on my post that they have I have a chart of characters that are better on the show and they're better in the comic. And there's it's like comic and show that, it's not actually my list, but I thought it was pretty interesting of a person who posted it in one of our groups, that I shared it there. And I was like, you know what? That's actually a really good discussion. Who was better on the show than the comic, and who's better in the comic than the show? So it's pretty interesting too. So Donnie D-Train, Brian, who do you think will save Morgan? I think Sherry saves Morgan. I think it makes the most sense there. Ed Morris asked the question, why couldn't the body be fake? Body be fake Alpha? I don't know. Anything's possible. Could definitely be a thing that, I don't know. I just see that Alpha is going to be taken out, and it would be, I don't know, poetic justice or whatever you want to call it, that she's devoured by walkers. Irony, whatever you want to say, that she was all about the Whispers and the Walkers and the Guardians, and she's killed and she's devoured by Guardians, Walkers. That'd be kind of funny too. So, but yeah, so it's pretty interesting that The Walking Dead is, going to be back before you know it, guys. Today's the 29th. We got the 29th, 30th, 31st, and then it's New Year. It's 2020. So hopefully you guys have plans for 2020. I do for sure. I'm going to be making Walking Dead universe content, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead World Beyond. Any information that we have, we will share it with you in videos. As soon as we get information, spoiler stuff, and that, we share it with you in videos. We are definitely here to have a fun time, a good time, and just share information. There will always be a spoiler warning about it, because I do not want to have people have information or get information or be told information that they didn't want to hear. And I don't know what you know, what you don't want to know. And I learned back in the past, season 6 and the season 7, when we started to get more and more spoilers, and it was like, I really shouldn't put this information in the thumbnail, but not everybody wants to see it. And people, yelled at me, and I apologize to that. I learned, the hard way for that as well. And so I definitely want to have the spoiler warning for that, because not everybody comes here for spoilers. We're not just a spoiler channel. We are a discussion channel. We are a fun channel that has spoilers and information and discussion and theories and reviews and everything. So it breaks it up into different categories of the different videos. But, if you're not a comic fan and I say something that's a comic related thing, I don't know. But if you're not reading the comics anyway, what difference does it make? I mean, the comics have been there for a long time, for sure. So Ed Morris writes, Bri, ever find out if that was Robert Englund in the pic I sent you? It looks like it. I mean, that's what I thought of it before you sent it to me and I saw it, that guy. I don't think it's Robert Englund. I think it's just a person, a crew member of The Walking Dead, but it looks a lot like Robert Englund, that's for sure. I doubt he was there in Georgia at the same time, but that would be pretty cool. So, we got that. We'll go for a couple more minutes, guys. So 2020 I'm going to have definitely one book coming out early 2020, which will be book 11. That's titled Access of Fight For Us. And if you haven't checked out the book series, there's a link in the description that takes us to our Amazon page that you can check out the links there to our Kindle and our paperback copies of Fight For Us, which is my zombie apocalypse book series. I'm going to try, if all goes well, I would have book 11 and book 12 out in 2020, and then hopefully the second prequel book, which, is titled In 100 Days, is the prequel to Fight For Us. And it's going to be at least 3 parts, part 1, 2, and 3. The first part is, In 100 Days, and then it'll be In 100 Days Part 2, and then In 100 Days Part 3. So In 100 Days is what I'm saying. So that's going to be a big thing. We're going to be making Walking Dead videos throughout the year, which is awesome because if we're going to have 42 episodes of the Walking Dead universe, that's a lot of good Walking Dead videos. Now, I know not everybody watches Fear, and not everybody's going to watch the World Beyond, but we'll try to connect the dots. We'll try to make it fun. We'll try to have everything there too. And it's not my job to have the Walking Dead universe connect in there too. I'm just commenting on it. My job is to have Fight For Us connect and have my whole universe that way. But I think that The Walking Dead is something that hopefully will continue on in a good way, and I want to talk about it, but I'm going to be real about it. If I don't like something, I don't like the idea that I don't like the idea that The Walking Dead is just making videos and making stuff to go out for a long time for just the reason. I just hope it all connects and makes sense for it. I just hope that it's a good, fun thing. And I think it should be too. And I think the Walking Dead universe can have a couple more years and then it can end. Every good thing must come to an end. That's for sure. KFC manager, what are your thoughts on the plot holes with Negan and the kid killing? I mean, we never saw him do that, so there's not really a plot hole, but I know what you're saying. There's the whole thing with Hilltop, but Negan's never been at Hilltop that we've seen. There's certain characters that have never interacted. Morgan and Negan, Carol and Negan. Really, Negan and anybody at Hilltop. Simon always went there. Negan was never there. So I don't know if he ever was responsible for killing someone at Hilltop, if it was Simon or not, because if everybody was Negan, we don't know if that was the thing. Because if Negan is everybody, how do we know if it was truly Negan or someone that was one of his lieutenants? Like Simon, I think it would be more likely Simon, who took out some people from the kingdom and some people from Hilltop and some people there like that. It just makes more sense than that. But we'll have to see. I think either way, Negan is a reformed individual after being locked up for so long. He took out Brandon because Brandon took out the mother and son. And I was like, man, that's crazy, right? But we'll see. I just don't see Negan taking out, another person for the wrong reason. I don't think he could ever hurt Judith. I don't think he's going to hurt Gamma. I don't think he's going to hurt Lydia. He already saved Lydia. He already did some things. So some people, there was a person who I talked about Negan in one of my latest videos, and they were like, how dare you say that, Negan? What has Negan ever done? What has Negan done to reform himself? He's not a good individual. He's not a good person. And I'm like, well, he actually is a far different person when we first met him, right? I mean, I think he's a better person than we first met him in season 6, episode 16 and season 7. It was definitely a different character. The same type of character that we've had is still there, but I don't think he would do half of the things now that we did when we first saw him. But the reason why he's kept alive is for his interactions with Alpha and Beta and everybody being involved with that. And this whole interaction right here. This is the reason why Negan was kept alive by Rick going forward, is for this story arc with with Alpha, Beta, and the Whispers. So we'll have to see what happens too. So Jenny says, this is not a plot. There is no plot hole with Negan and kid killing. Negan felt Rick had forced his hand, and killing Carl was his only choice to kick them back under his heel. Well, he didn't kill Carl either way, too. He didn't do any of that. So that's also the thing where I think the bigger thing is what people are talking about, Jenny, is that when he said that he killed, the story was that he killed a kid at Hilltop and they killed a bunch of people at the Kingdom. but we never saw it happen. Negan never did that. I mean, probably the closest thing that ever happened to it was with Brandon. I mean, he saved Lydia. He saved that. He has a code with it. So, I don't know. I don't really see it as a plot hole with it. But either way, I think it's a fun thing to talk about it and discuss it. And either way, I support the channel and I support everything that the Walking Dead does on the show to a point. There's good episodes, there's bad episodes, there's things that don't make sense. Some of the CGI has been terrible, some of the fight scenes were cheesy, some of the things were this, some of the things don't make sense with the, the Browning, blanking on the gun that was on the back of the thing. It wouldn't just like have the truck to slow down. It would, or like shoot at Daryl's bike. It was it would blow apart Daryl's bike with the Browning, I want to say machine gun, but it's not really that. But it was like certain things they do all right. But overall, I enjoy it. I'm glad that you guys are here for it. So thank you guys for being a part of this live stream. Thank you, Nick, for the super chats. Thank you to my awesome moderators and my members. Thank you for being a big part of it. And this is it, guys, for 2019. This is the last live stream of 2019. Next Sunday, we'll have a live stream for 2020. We'll talk about much more things. I'll have a video that I'll post tomorrow about Season 10, Episode 9. Then I have a little different video for the New Year's Eve, the New Year's Day in 2020. We'll talk about some big things going there too. So hopefully you guys will check out the book series. If you want to check out the link in the description right here of this video, it says Fight For Us books on our Amazon store paid link. Check out the link there. Check out the different books. Thank you guys for being a part of it. I truly appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. So hope you had a great 2019 and 2020 is better for you in all parts, whether it's, financial or health or wealth or whatever it is. I definitely will be there for you guys, and hopefully I will be making awesome videos all next year, and we'll hit our goal of 100,000 subscribers. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, staying true to yourself, blocking out the haters and the trolls, and hopefully you have a good, safe New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. And hopefully 2019 was good, but 2020 will be even better. Thank you guys for watching, and see ya.